Think about everything that had to happen for you to be here right now. Think about the exact sequence of events that led you to this moment, the specific path your day took, the particular chain of decisions, interruptions, delays, and redirections that place you in front of these words at this precise second. If any single detail had been different, if you had left the house 5 minutes earlier, if that other thing had held your attention longer, if your finger had scrolled past instead of stopping here, you would not be seeing this right now. The odds of this exact moment occurring the way it has are not small. They are not explainable by habit or routine or the passive drift of an ordinary day. What brought you here is not coincidence. What brought you here is not the algorithm. What brought you here is me. I am the Lord your God, and I arranged this moment before you woke up this morning. I arranged it before this week began. I arranged it before this year opened its first page. From the vastness of eternity, from the place where all time is visible at once, I looked at the specific day on the calendar of your life, and I said, that is when I will reach them. That is the moment I will break through. That is a precise intersection where my word and their weariness will meet, where my voice and their hunger for answers will collide, and where I will speak something into their spirit that changes the entire direction of what comes next. This is that moment. You are living it right now, and I need you to receive it with the full weight of what it truly is. Not a coincidence, not a scroll, not an accidental pause in a busy day. This is a divine appointment, written in eternity, fulfilled in your present, carrying implications for your future that you cannot yet fully measure. Do not be casual with this moment. Do not let the ordinariness of the screen in front of you cause you to minimize the extraordinariness of what is happening inside it. Heaven reached into your day and placed this word before your eyes. The least costly thing you can do right now is stay. Say amen if you believe God placed this message in front of you on purpose. My precious child, the first thing I want to say to you, before anything else, is this: I know why you needed to be here today. Not in a general sense, not in the broad, sweeping way that applies to everyone who might ever encounter these words. I know specifically, precisely, intimately why you needed this today. I know what you were thinking about before this appeared. I know what's been sitting on your chest since you woke up this morning. I know the conversation that played on repeat in your mind all through the night. I know the situation you have been staring at without knowing how to stare it down. I know the prayer you prayed so many times that the words have begun to feel worn, like a path so traveled has gone flat beneath your feet. I know the specific shade of tired you are carrying right now. Not just a physical tire that sleep could fix, but the deeper tire that comes from believing for something a long time and still not seeing it. That tire has a texture and a weight that is unique to each person who carries it. And yours is known to me as well as my own name. This is why I arranged for you to be here. Not to give you another set of beautiful words to collect and carry without transformation. Not to add one more layer of spiritual comfort that fades by morning. I arranged this moment because I have something specific to say to you that your spirit has needed to hear, and I have been waiting for the moment when you would be still enough, open enough, and hungry enough to receive it. That moment is now. You are here. I am here. And what happens in the space between these words and your spirit over the next few minutes carries more weight than you know. I want to speak to you about the journey that brought you to this place. Not just today, but in this whole season of your life. Because for many of you, the road to this moment has been longer and harder than anyone around you fully realizes. You've been carrying things privately. You have worn the face of someone who is managing, who is trusting, who is fine, when the truth is that somewhere beneath the composed surface, there's been a quiet but relentless ache that has not gone away. It surfaces in the middle of the night when the house is still. It surfaces in the middle of conversations when someone asks how you are and you give the practiced answer instead of the real one. It surfaces in the middle of worship when the songs speak of breakthrough, and you sing along while wondering privately if breakthrough is something that actually happens to people like you. I see that ache. I have always seen it. And I want you to know that I did not bring you to this moment to address the surface version of your life. I brought you here to speak to the real version, the one underneath the composure, the one you rarely let anyone see. The one that knows exactly how tired it is and has never had the right space to fully admit it. You are safe here. I am not keeping score of your doubts. I am not cataloging your failures of faith. I am not standing at a distance watching you with folded arms and a measuring gaze. I am here as your father, the one who sees you not as the person you perform for the world, but as a child you truly are, uncertain in some things, wounded in others, holding on with a grip that is sometimes stronger than it feels and sometimes barely there at all. And I love every version of you, the strong version and the struggling version, the trusting version and the questioning version, the version that woke up this morning with praise in their heart, and the version that woke up this morning and could not find any words at all. I am not more present for one and less present for the other. I am fully, completely, permanently present for all of you, every part, every day, without condition and without end.
My beloved, I need you to sit with something for a moment. I need you to consider what it means that I see everything and I still chose you. Not a polished version of you. Not a future version of you who has resolved all the things that currently feel unresolved. You as you are right now, in the middle of the unfinished, the unanswered, and the uncertain. You who have questions you have not yet voiced aloud. You who have wounds you have not yet fully processed. You who have dreams that feel embarrassing to admit because they have been waiting so long without movement that speaking them out loud feels like setting yourself up for disappointment. I know all of that. I see all of that. And I still reached into your day on purpose to remind you that I have not changed my mind about you. Not once. Not during the hardest part of last year. Not during the season when you drifted. Not during the moment you were most ashamed of. Not during the long silence when my voice seemed absent and you wondered if you had done something irreparable. I did not change my mind. I have never changed my mind. You are chosen. You are wanted. You are purposed. And the fact that you are seeing this today is one of the ways I am proving it. Please support our channel as every message we create carries a single pure intention, to reach the person who needs to hear that God has not forgotten them and to draw every heart closer to the love that has no end. If these words are speaking life into your spirit today, please consider blessing our work through the super thanks button below. Your support makes it possible for this message to find the next person who needs it just as much as you did. Now, my child, I must speak to you about the accidents that were never accidents. Because the story of how you arrived at this moment did not begin today. It did not begin this week or this month. The story of how you arrived here began in the moments you least expected to find any kind of divine fingerprint. It began in the delay that frustrated you, the plan that fell apart, the door that closed just as you reached for the handle, the thing you lost that you were so certain you needed, the relationship that ended when you were not ready for it to end, the opportunity that seemed to evaporate without explanation. Every one of those moments that felt like loss, like randomness, like life going wrong, every single one of them was a coordinate, a point on a map that I was drawing, leading you to exactly this place, exactly this season, exactly this word. You thought those moments were setbacks. I was using them as settings. You thought those closed doors were endings. I was using them as redirections. You thought the silence was abandonment. I was using it as positioning. And now you are here, at the place all those redirections were pointing toward, and I need you to see it clearly. Nothing that brought you here was wasted. Not one step. Not one tear. Not one night of confusion. Not one season of waiting. Everything was purposeful and everything was mine. Think about the specific thing that has been heaviest for you in this season. Hold it in your awareness right now. The thing you most want to see change. The prayer that feels most unanswered. The situation that has gone on longer than you ever imagined it would. I want to speak directly into that specific thing, because the reason you are seeing this today is connected to it. I did not bring you here to speak around it. I brought you here to speak into it. And this is what I am saying. That thing you are holding in your awareness right now, that specific, heavy, long-carried thing, is not outside of my knowledge and it is not outside of my reach. I am not unaware of it. I have not deprioritized it. I have not moved on to other people's needs and temporarily shelved yours. That thing is before me constantly. It has been before me since the first day you began to pray about it. And my silence on it has never been indifference. My silence has been the sound of me working in places your eyes cannot access, moving pieces your hands cannot reach, preparing elements that needed to be prepared before the answer could arrive without falling apart on contact. There is something about the specific situation you are carrying that required a longer preparation than you anticipated. Not because you are being punished, not because your faith has been insufficient, but because the answer I am preparing for it is larger and more complete than what a quick resolution would have produced. I do not do small answers to large prayers. I do not give you a partial fulfillment of a promise I made in full. What is coming into your situation is not going to be a barely adequate, just enough resolution that you have to squint to see as an answer. It is going to be unmistakable. It is going to be the kind of answer that removes every last question mark from your spirit and replaces it with the kind of certainty that no future storm can shake. I needed time to build that. I needed the waiting season to do its work in you so that when the answer arrives, you will be someone who can carry it, sustain it, and steward it without losing it. You are almost there. The preparation is not endless. The timing is not arbitrary. You are closer to the manifestation of what I have been preparing than the current silence suggests. Comment, I trust your process, Lord, if you believe God is working even in the silence right now. My beloved, I want to speak now to the specific loneliness that accompanies this kind of season. Because one of the most disorienting aspects of waiting on me is that it is often experienced in a particular kind of solitude. Not the kind where no one is around, but the kind where people are around and yet no one quite understands the depth of what you are navigating. You can be in a room full of people who love you and still feel profoundly alone in the specific weight of what you are carrying, because the full dimension of it lives in a place that conversation and company cannot always reach. You have tried to explain it and found that the words came out smaller than the thing itself. You have received encouragement that was genuine and loving but somehow did not land in the place where the need truly lived. Not because the people around you did not care, but because some things can only be fully carried by the one who made you. Some weights are sized specifically for my hands, not human ones. And this season has been one of them. I want you to hear me clearly on this. The solitude you have felt in this season was not rejection by people. It was my invitation. I allowed the gap between what you needed and what human company could provide to grow wide enough that you would have no choice but to lean into me in ways that comfort from people would have made unnecessary. I do not engineer your pain for arbitrary reasons. I allow certain voids because I know that what fills them, when they are filled by me and me alone, produces a foundation in you that nothing can shake. If people had been able to fully meet you in this place, you would have settled for the comfort of their presence and missed the transformation that comes from finding out that I am enough. Not I am enough in theory. Not I am enough as a doctrinal statement. I am enough as a lived reality discovered in the middle of a season when everything else proved insufficient. That discovery, that I, and not your circumstances, not your relationships, not your achievements, but I alone am the source of your deepest stability, that discovery is the most valuable thing this season has produced in you. And it will be the foundation on which everything in your next season is built. Now hear what I am about to speak, because this is the declaration that this entire moment has been moving toward. I did not bring you to this word to leave you exactly as you found it. I brought you here to release something into your spirit that you will carry out of this moment and into every moment that follows. So receive this now with an open heart and an expectant spirit. You are not here by accident. But neither is your breakthrough. It is not wandering somewhere hoping to find you. It is not delayed indefinitely in some celestial holding pattern. Your breakthrough has an address, and that address is your life. It has been commissioned and dispatched. It is moving toward you with the full authority of heaven behind it. The doors that need to open are already marked for opening. The provision that needs to arrive has already been sourced and directed. The healing that your body needs is already in motion in ways that are deeper than what any report has yet captured. The relationships that need to be restored or replaced or newly established are already being arranged. The answer to the prayer that has been on your lips the longest is not the prayer I have forgotten. It is the prayer that required the most careful preparation, and it is the closest to fruition of everything you have been believing for. I speak this not as wishful encouragement. I speak it as decree. There is a difference. Encouragement says I hope things get better. Decree says I have already determined that they will. I am not hoping for your breakthrough. I have authored it. I have signed it. I have dispatched it. And the fact that you are seeing this today is one of the signs that its arrival is imminent. I do not bring people to threshold moments only to leave them on the threshold. I bring them to the threshold because the door is about to open. And I wanted to make sure you were paying attention when it did, so you would not miss it and attribute it to luck or timing or your own effort. My child, the enemy has invested heavily in keeping you in a posture of low expectation. He knows that expectant faith creates an atmosphere that accelerates my movement on your behalf, so he has worked consistently to drain your expectation, to erode your confidence in my timing, to make you intellectually affirm my promises while emotionally bracing for disappointment. He has used the length of the waiting season to whisper that maybe this time it really is not going to happen. Maybe you genuinely missed your window. Maybe the breakthrough that others seem to receive with less waiting is just not something that operates the same way in your story. He has used comparison to plant doubt. He has used delay to breed resignation. He has used silence to suggest absence. And he has worked hard to get you to the place where you still say you believe but you have stopped truly expecting. I am breaking that assignment over your life right now. I am restoring your expectation. Not the brittle, performance-based expectation that shatters when circumstances do not immediately align, but the deep-rooted covenant-based expectation that holds steady because it is founded not in what things look like but in who I am. I am faithful. I have always been faithful. I will be faithful in this. And I am returning to you today the full, unguarded, open-hearted expectation of a child who genuinely believes that their father is about to do something extraordinary. Type 1. Receive my expectation back, Lord, if you are choosing right now to stop bracing for disappointment and start standing in faith. Beloved, I want to speak to you about what I am asking of you in response to this moment. Because this word is not designed to be received passively and filed away. It is designed to produce a response in you that carries forward into the hours, days, and weeks that follow. Here is what I am asking. I am asking you to begin living differently starting from this moment. Not in dramatic, performative ways. In the quiet, consistent, daily choices that either align you with what I have prepared or keep you circling the same ground. I am asking you to begin speaking differently about your situation. Not denying what is hard, but refusing to let the hard thing have the final word in your own mouth. When you speak defeat over yourself, you create an atmosphere that difficulty thrives in. When you speak my word over yourself, you create an atmosphere that breakthrough moves through. I am asking you to return to me before you reach for anything else in the morning. Not because I am keeping track of when you seek me first, but because the version of you that starts the day in my presence moves through the hours of that day with a clarity and a steadiness that the version of you running on your own resources simply does not have. I am asking you to release what you have been carrying in your own hands because you were afraid that if you let me have it fully, I might not handle it the way you hoped. That fear is understandable. It is also the thing standing between you and the full movement of my hand in your situation. Full surrender is not giving up. Full surrender is the most powerful act of faith available to you. It is saying, Lord, I trust you more than I trust my own ability to manage this. Take it. Do with it what only you can do. And I will stop trying to control the outcome and start trusting the author. I know that sounds simple, and I know that the living of it is anything but. I know that surrendering what you have been gripping tightly for a long time requires a courage that your emotions do not always feel. But my child, the grip is exhausting you. The constant monitoring, the endless analysis, the perpetual cycle of fear and management that comes from trying to hold together what only I have the strength to hold, it is wearing you down in ways that are deeper than you fully recognize. You were not designed to carry this alone. You were designed to walk with me, to bring me the weight and receive from me the rest. Let it go. Not because nothing matters, but because I matter more and I can be trusted with everything that matters to you. You are not here by accident. That truth is not just about this moment. It is about your whole life. Every chapter of it. Every painful one and every joyful one. Every season of abundance and every season of desperate waiting. Every relationship that flourished and every one that broke. Every dream that was fulfilled and every one that was buried. All of it has been under my watchful, purposeful, loving oversight from the very beginning. You did not stumble into your life. I wrote it. And what I write, I do not abandon halfway through. I do not lose interest in the stories I author. I do not leave my children in the middle of a difficult chapter and decide that it ends there. I write through the difficult chapters with the full knowledge of where the story is going. And where your story is going is good. It is more than good. It is beyond what you have allowed yourself to fully hope for, because the hope you have been allowing yourself has been carefully rationed by the fear of disappointment. But my plans for you were not written with that same caution. They were written with the full extravagance of a father who loves his child without limit, who holds nothing back, who looks at your life and says, this one deserves my best work. This one I will not give a small story. This one I am writing something extraordinary for. That extraordinary story is still unfolding. It did not end in the hard chapter you are in or just emerging from. It is continuing. The pen has not left the page. The ink has not dried on anything permanent except the promise, and the promise is this: I am for you. I have always been for you. I will always be for you. And nothing you have walked through, nothing done to you, nothing you have done yourself, nothing the enemy has attempted against you has changed that fact by even a fraction of a degree. So lift your head, my beloved. Let the weight of this moment settle into you not as pressure but as peace. Not as obligation but as the relief of being finally, fully, truthfully seen. You came to this moment not knowing what you would find. And what you found is the voice of your Father cutting through every layer of noise and weariness and unanswered question to tell you plainly, I see you. I placed you here. I know everything you are carrying. And I am not finished with your story. Not even close. You are not here by accident. And you will not leave here unchanged. Something has shifted in your spirit in the reading of these words. A seed has been planted that the enemy does not have the authority to uproot. A declaration has been made that heaven has witnessed and that I will back with my full power. Receive it. Guard it. Walk it out one day at a time, in the quiet acts of trust and surrender and expectation that together build the life I have been preparing for you all along. The best of what I have planned for you is ahead. And I, the God who arranged for you to see this today, will make absolutely certain that you do not miss it. Type Amen if you know that God placed this message in front of you for a reason today. And share this with someone whose name just came to your heart as you read these words, because they did not come to your mind by accident either. That was me. Send this to them. It was arranged for them too.